Hey everybody, happy May 29th it is. Happy birthday to my good friend Seth out there. I think he's on the chat. Looks like he's on the chat there. Maybe that's Rick. Are you Seth? Are you Ridge Runner? I think that's him. And my dad's out there. Thanks for tuning in, Dad. Hopefully the thing sounds good today. I'm using a different system, and my dad will be happy that I'm not backwards. He's always kind of frustrated that I'm like left-handed when I have to use my phone to go live. So hopefully that sounds good out there. And yeah, I've been experimenting a lot because I was listening to some old podcasts of mine that I did way back in 2023, which was like almost 3 years ago, I think it was. And they sounded so good, man. I was using that Variax guitar that I had for a minute there. It sounded great. And let's see. My mom's here. And my dad's saying he thought it was a southpaw for a long time because when I go live with just my phone, it flips it. I don't know. You can't do anything about it. But now when I go live with this system, you can see me the right way. And I can use a nice microphone, which is right above me. You'll be able to hear the sound coming from up there. But yeah, you know, like when NASA is like, we don't have the technology to go back to the moon. I can kind of understand that now, even though I don't believe that. But I like listen to my old podcasts. I'm like, how is it that I sounded better 3 years ago? You know, like the audio quality and stuff like that. Anyway, should sound good today. I've been experimenting with this microphone and this system, and I'm parked in Seth's driveway in a shady spot so it doesn't get too hot. And so therefore the computer works good and all that stuff. So looks like my sister's there. Hey, Zach and Michelle, thanks for tuning in. This is a good system. I hope this works out because I think you'll like how it sounds. So let me play a song, and then I'll talk about some other stuff. This song is it's a Modest Mouse song called "Float On." I backed my car into a cop car the other day. He just drove out, sometimes life's okay. I ran my mouth off a bit too much, what did I say? You just laughed and said it's all okay. Well, I'll float on, okay. Well, I'll float on, alright. Well, I'll float on, okay. Well, I'll float on. That fake Jamaican took every last time with a scam. It was worth it just learn some sleight of hand. Bad news come, don't worry, even if it lands. Good news work itself to all them plans. We both got fired on exactly the same day. Well, we were gonna quit anyway. Well, I'll float on, okay. Well, I'll float on, alright. Well, I'll float on, okay. Well, I'll float on. Well, I'll float on, okay. Well, I'll float on, alright. Well, I'll float on, okay. Well, I'll float on, alright. Well, I'll float on, okay. Well, I'll float on alright. Well, I'll float on okay. Well, I'll float on alright. Don't worry, even if things end a bit too heavy. Well, I'll float on alright. Don't worry, even if things end a bit too heavy. Well, I'll float on alright. Yeah, well, I'll float on okay. Well, I'll float on alright. Well, I'll float on okay. Well, I'll float on alright. Alright, thank you so much. How does it sound out there, y'all? Does it sound pretty good? I hope it sounds really good. I've got my headphones on so I can hear what's going through the microphones. And what I can hear sounds really good to me. So let me know if the sound is good. If it's distorting, it might have distorted once or twice or clipped a couple times in there. Maybe not though. Yeah, anyway, I'm up here in Durango, California, or Durango, Colorado with my friend Seth, Satch, nicknamed Satch. It's his birthday today. It's nice being here with him this week. We've been working really hard on a lot of stuff. He's been helping me a lot. What a great guy. He's such a great guy, and he's really talented too. He says he's a jack of all trades and a master of some, which is a good way to put it. I guess that's the way I am too. I'm not, I'm mastered a couple things, I guess, in my life, maybe. Hopefully music being one of them. I don't know. I think so. I feel like I have. My sister says sounds good. My mom says sounds good. Great sound. Good. Glad to hear that. But yeah, we've been working on all kinds of stuff because Seth he's been training on HVAC lately. We're like the same age. We're about the same age. He's a little, maybe a few years older than me, but we're about the same age. And we're at that age where we kind of like just want to work for ourselves and not have to work for some corporate slob takeover or whatever stuff. We don't want to be part of that. Sorry, hang on a second. This light's going bonkers. And he's been doing HVAC work lately, and he was doing some other kind of work before that, going in more into the trades and stuff. And he's got some really nice equipment here at his house, like for doing home projects that we've been working on. Hey, Dennis Driscoll's out there. Hey, Dennis, thanks for tuning in, bud. And so yeah, we've been busy all week. I got here Monday. Kind of Monday morning, early morning, or late morning, early afternoon, and been doing a lot of work on different things. Today I'm drinking lemonade, y'all. I'm back to drinking lemonade today, because I'll be honest, it must be that time of the month. I'm just like broke again, where I can't even, I couldn't buy any beer or non-alcoholic beer or sodas or anything. So drinking lemonade today. I found out today the debt consolidation program that I'm with, they started charging me an extra $50 a month. I guess I agreed to it, but it's only going to be happening until October. I'm just saying, things have been a little financially tough, so thanks for contributing to this. My mom says, happy birthday, Seth. That's cool, yeah. Seth and I have been doing, we started with the AC on my motorhome, because I'm going to be in, what was that? I don't know what that is. I think it's I don't know. Anyway, sorry. So we're working on the AC because I'm going to be in Palm Springs on June 4th. So it's usually really hot there that time of year. So we're trying to get my AC fixed. But we determined today I got a leaky compressor. So we're going to have to do it next year. I don't have to use my AC very much anyway, living in San Diego. But out in Palm Springs, it would be nice to have it for that day. But I'll only be there for a few hours, hopefully, in Palm Springs to do a gig and then get out of there because it's going to be too hot, probably. Then I head to LA. But yeah, so we tried to fix the air conditioning. We got a hose fixed, but the compressor had a hole in it. And then what else? We've been trying to make a tone ring for my banjo. We did it. Seth he has this cool machine that we made to make a wooden part so we can put a brass tone ring on my banjo. And we're kind of almost done. Got a couple little tweaks to do, and hopefully by next week on this podcast, you will see my new and improved banjo, thanks to Seth. We've put a lot of time and effort to all these little projects. We're also trying to maybe do a 5th string tunnel neck, but we're not sure we're going to have time for it this time. But what else are we doing? We're just doing all kinds of stuff. Taking walks with Seth's dog, Coda, a couple times a day, and of course having some beers at night. So and we're gonna go out and celebrate Seth's birthday tonight. After this podcast is over, this live stream, whatever we're calling it. And yeah, it's been, I love it up here. It's really a cool town, good place. It's really beautiful. He's surrounded by mountains everywhere and rivers, a lot of water up here. You can definitely tell when you cross the New Mexico-Colorado border. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm in Colorado now. There's like all these big pine trees and green, and it's really beautiful up here. It's getting a little windy at the moment, which is hasn't happened all week. But, yeah, so that's what I'm doing this week. And I was in New Mexico, of course, for like 2 months, and that was really great too. So thanks again to everybody who came out to the gigs in New Mexico. That was a lot of fun, good times. I'll be back again next year. Hopefully I'll be longer next year. I'll be there for 6 months next year, so that's the plan. But I'll be heading back to San Diego. For all my San Diego people, I'll officially be back June 6th, because I'm going to be playing at Poway. I'm playing the Poway Folk Festival on June 6th. I'm the last act that day. I am reluctant to say I'm the headliner, but I am the last act that day. I think I'm at 3 p.m. It's 3 to 4 p.m. and I'm playing in Poway. My sister was asking if I've seen Alien Tower in New Mexico. I don't think I have. I don't think I've seen Alien Tower. I've been to Roswell a bunch of times, and I've seen some cool stuff there. And then, of course, I guess the weird stuff is actually in Dulce, New Mexico. That's in northern New Mexico. That's where I guess the weirdest stuff happens. There's like some underground alien base there, which I'm open to. I guess, aren't they starting to like say in the news that aliens are real or something, and trying to distract us from the Iranian conflict? Yeah, so, well, let me play another song before I get into any of the current events that are going on. What's people saying? My sister said she saw a picture of the Alien Tower. I don't even know what that is. Can you attach it to the chat or no? I don't know. I don't know if you can do pictures. I played this song a few episodes ago. I don't think it was last episode, but maybe the episode before that. This song's called Lost Soul Search. It's a song I wrote a while back about traveling around the country. And, like I said, today the finances are a little bit upside down, but for the most part, my finances are pretty stable and I have a good life. And I think about that a lot. Like today when, finances are tough, I'm like, well, at least I'm doing I'm living like this cool life, I'm really happy doing what I'm doing, and that means a lot. Anyway, this song is called Lost Soul Search, about being a traveling musician, and hopefully one day it makes sense. Or it already does, but sometimes it doesn't, I guess. My light's going crazy again. I'm just going to unplug it. I don't think it's doing anything. Is it? Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. I drove my van all the way to California. I drove my van all the way to California. I am a lost soul on this long road, lots of mystery, and now I'm on a journey I am hardly known. And sometimes I'm lonely, but the universe is providing. The universe is providing. It will make sense eventually. It will make sense eventually. All this rambling and all this searching will lead me to a place of understanding, when peace will find it will be all mine. But for now, I gotta keep walking. But for now, I just keep walking. It will make sense eventually. It will make sense eventually. Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. I drove my van all the way to California. I drove my van all the way to California. All right, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that song, Lost Soul Search. Yeah, sometimes I think like following my passion as much as I have done in my adult life for music and in my adolescent years as well. Even if I don't get like super famous, or I mean not famous, but super financially successful in this life, at least I followed my passion, and maybe in the next life I'll be the Bob Dylan, you know. I'd be like ready to be the next Bob Dylan in the next life, if there is such a thing as a next life. Or in the afterlife, the spiritual world, maybe I'll have a place in the chorus, like for me or something, in the choir, that they're like, wow, you spent so much time on earth perfecting your musical prowess. Now you can be in the chorus singing with all the rest of the angels or whatever. We want you to play guitar or banjo for blah blah blah. Who knows? You know what I mean? It's probably not literally, but like maybe I just think we do take a lot of these skills and things we learned with us. I do think we take the memories with us. I hope. I think, yeah. Like if you think of the afterlife like being asleep, which I think is probably similar. That's kind of what it is. Anyway, that's some esoteric talking here. My dad says that's a good song. Thanks, Dad. I'm glad you like that one. But yeah, current events and stuff. Yeah, this alien stuff is interesting, right? But it's like, why is it coming out now? It's like, are they trying to distract us from what's really going on with the Epstein stuff and everything? Is this thing getting glitchy now? I think it is. Something smells like it's burning in here. I don't know. I don't know. This thing seems to be get glitchy. That's not good. It seems to be okay. I don't know. Is it still working? Does it look okay out there, everybody? Does everything look alright? It's definitely getting glitchy over here. Computer's probably super hot. No, not too bad. I was talking to Dennis Driscoll recently, in the last month or 2 or 3, and he was like, yeah, I think you're better off just going with the phone. It's always less complications and stuff. He's right. Now here we go. I thought we were going to get through this without any glitches, so. Okay. Yeah, maybe things are catching on fire in here. I don't know. There goes my light again, acting up. I'm gonna turn this dumb thing off. Maybe that's the problem. Yo, Noah, thanks for tuning in, man. Noah says it's Colorado sick. Seth saying it's a little glitchy. Let's see. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Does that look glitchy to you? If I'm like, does it sound glitchy? Anyway, whatever. We'll see what happens. It was working perfectly for like the last few hours. What my sister said, yes. I don't know what means. Yes, what? What do you mean, Michelle? Doesn't sound glitchy. Okay, good. As long as it doesn't sound glitchy, we're good, right? And as long as it doesn't look glitchy to you. I guess my computer's probably just doing. My sister said it was great until now. I don't know what is up then. The computer's not hot. Seems like the computer should be fine. Let me see. Let me check the activity monitor. And then when I touch my computer, I get like that buzz. I got a piece of equipment that stopped the buzz for the most part this week, but still happening there. Activity monitor. Nothing's really stepping out here. Let me turn on this fan back here. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Alright, well my sister said the sound is fine, so that is just so weird that it just started glitching. Seth said it looks like Max Headroom in a cool way. Remember Max Headroom? This is my Max Headroom here. Alright, well. It's all good, we can hear you, Seth said. Yeah, let's just go through with it. On with the show, on with the show. So, yeah, as I was saying, that's probably going to come into that fan. Is that fan super distracting? We'll see. Whatever. Anyway. But yeah, like, you know, you put all this effort into the stuff that you do in this life, and you're like, well, if I'm going to die, what good is it to build all these skills? But hopefully, you know, living passionately about music and this life has helped. It'll help me in my next life or something somewhere along the way. Let me do another song. This one's called Smells Like Teen Spirit. I think I'm going to do this one next. Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assertive. No, I heard a dirty word. Hello, 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 hello. And I'm worsted what I do best, and for this gift I feel so blessed, little child, that always and always will. And tell me that hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, with the lights out. It's less dangerous. Here we are now. Entertain us. I feel so stupid and contagious. Here we are now. Entertain us. I'm mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, my libido. Yeah. And I forget just what it takes now, yeah. It makes me smile, I found it hard. It's hard to find a way, yeah. Never mind, hello, 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 with the lights out. It's less dangerous. Here we are now. Entertain us. I feel so stupid and contagious. Here we are now. Entertain us. I'm mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, my libido. I deny you, I deny you, I deny you, I deny you, I deny you. Alright, looks like the screen is still glitching out there. Let me see if I can fix this. Seth says he loves my rendition of this song. Thanks, man. Kurt would have been proud. I hope so, man. I hope so. Kurt Cobain, good old Kurt. Hang on a second, give me a second. No vision. Still a little glitchy, I think. Let me see if it's because something here. It should be getting, I think it's a little better now. I turned something off, so I think it should be a little bit better. It's all a learning process that takes years and years for this kind of thing. Basically running my own TV show, which is a big deal. You know, producing, engineering, and performing on my own TV show. That's a lot of work. It looks like things are back, though, to me. Like, things look pretty good. Let me turn this fan off. Turned it up. There it is. What happened to my chat? Lost it. Here we go. Hang on. See if I can see the chat. It says people... There's 9 viewers? Currently 9 viewers, it says. What happened to my chat? Doggone. There it is. Alright. Thanks for bearing with me through this little technical glitch here. Hey, tell Shane I loved meeting him as well. I loved meeting Shane. Yeah, it seems better. It's here. Cool. Alright. We're back. I think it was because I was playing myself on YouTube, actually. And let me see something too. Let's see if this works. What is that? Hang on, something else is playing. Hang on, this will probably help too. Fuck. That should be better. I think that's probably what it was. Alright, cool. Well, I'm winning. I won. I had a little win there, y'all. I overcame the technical problem without breaking my guitar out of frustration first. Oh, I had some notes. Hang on. So anybody who's been watching this podcast knows I'm kind of documenting what it's like to be a full-time musician these days, and like what it means to be a musician, and how it feels and why you do it and all that stuff. And I had a really touching story happen yesterday. I was playing at a senior center here in Durango, Colorado, and there was probably 20 or 30 seniors eating lunch while I was playing, and they clapped after the songs, and they looked like they were enjoying themselves. But after I played, all these people came up to take a photo with me, because I offer photos for the agency I work for. They like to get photos put up on their website and all this stuff, and so these people came up, and this one woman who was clapping along like the whole time, and she was you could tell she was really enjoying what I was doing. She came up and she told me, she said her son had died on that day like 5 years ago or sometime. It was like the anniversary of her son's death, which is terrible, of course, right? And so she didn't want to get out of bed that day. It's a hard day for her, of course, of course. And she said she didn't want to get out of bed or anything. She wasn't even going to come out to lunch or whatever for everything. And she said she was praying that morning, and she said, please send me a sign that my son can still hear me, And she said that when she heard my music, that she knew her son was still, like, I'm getting like choked up. Her son was still, could still like sense her or whatever on the other side. It's like, it was such a cool story. It's like that kind of story that it keeps you going. It's like life is way bigger than we think. We are all way bigger than we think, and things are going on the other side. And that's the kind of story that it just makes you feel like, okay, maybe this isn't like just, I'm not just a clown, going through life here. It's like there's things, beyond our perception that are happening all the time. So that was just a really nice story, and I just thought I'd tell that because any musicians out there, Seth Hoffman, sometimes you just feel like it's a dead end road or whatever, and you're not getting anywhere, But it's not, dude. I think I had one time this woman, she was like a psychic, and she came to hear me play, and she goes, I hope you understand the spirits just start to go crazy when you play. They just love it, And I was like, it's a little woo-woo or whatever, but the woman, I liked the woman, and she seemed legit. I don't know what, but it's just cool to hear that kind of stuff. Thanks, Seth. Yeah, Seth says that's a powerful story. God put you here, the right place, doing the right thing. Yeah. So that's what you just got to believe, Even when you wake up in the morning and your bank account's not looking good, you just have to believe. Keep on trucking. Keep on keeping on. All right, where are we at? We got a little one more time. We got about 25 minutes, actually. So I'm going to play this song that I wrote a long time ago. I don't think I've ever properly released this song. It's a cool song. It's called Hey Love. And I wrote this a long time ago when I was going through a divorce. And here it goes. Here it is. I gotta make sure this. There's a crazy way to tune this guitar because the intonation's so messed up. Hey love, here I come. Hey love, there you go. Hey love, you done me wrong. Hey love, you lost your halo. But when I find myself, be on. Until then, be alone. For all time, for all time, for all time. For all time. Hey love, I'm a fool for falling in love with you. Hey love, I'm so dumb for thinking you're the one. When I find myself, be on, and until then, be alone. For all time, for all time, for all time, for all time. Hey love, here I come. Hey love, there you go. Hey love, you done me wrong. Hey love, you lost your halo. When I find myself, be on. Until then, be alone. For all time, for all time, for all time. For all time. All right, thank you very much. Man, this guitar is hard to play. This guitar is super hard to play. I tried to make it a baritone guitar using a standard neck. So the strings are super tight and big, and so I'm going to try to take care of that soon. I'm really getting, as I've been saying lately, I'm getting back into playing more guitar, and yeah, it's hard to play a guitar that's hard to play and tune. This thing does not tune well, but I practiced long enough today with it to tune it a little bit. I can't play anything with E minor too much. That song had an E minor, but anything's based on an E minor, it's just like, can't play it, because it just, see, watch, I'll play a G. Sounds pretty good. We play an E minor. It gets all weird, so trying to fix that up. I'm trying to buy this guitar in LA when I'm there the next week. Hopefully it's still available and I have the funds for it by then. It's a great deal. It's a smoking deal. It's one of those local pickup only. You can only pick it up locally, and it's been on there for a while. And I've had my eye on it. I thought for sure it'd be sold by now, but hoping to pick that up and use that on the podcast soon. My dad said that's a great song. I think that was my dad. Yeah, thanks, Dad. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been playing that song a long time here and there, but it never really, I don't know why, I've never been able to properly record it. But now that my recording skills are getting even better than ever, hopefully one of these days soon, I'll be able to do that and stuff. Anyway, what else was I going to talk about here? Yeah, so it's called a Variax guitar. If you remember back in 2023 for a few episodes, I had this, it was an acoustic Variax guitar. So like I could tune it with just touching a button. It would change the tuning into alternate tunings, but there was one problem with it. It wouldn't really alternate tune the way I needed it to tune my low E string. And it was like messed up. It was broken basically. And the guy who sold it to me legitimately didn't know that. He just never tried to put it into this particular tuning, so he didn't know that. They ended up refunding all my money to me, which was nice, and they let me keep the guitar. Reverb has a really good policy like that. They basically, if somebody's not happy, they don't make the person who sold it to you, like, a lot of times they don't make you ship it back. If it's like a legitimate concern, they can like work it out. Anyway, they worked it out. They gave me my money back. They let him keep his money, and I ended up selling that guitar because I couldn't really do exactly what I wanted it to do, but I've been listening to recordings of it recently, and I'm like, geez, man, I gotta get back to that. It was just so nice. It's a modular guitar, so it can make your guitar sound like a lot of different really nice acoustic guitars. And the one that I'm trying to get is actually an electric, but it has acoustic models on it. It also has electric guitars and all that stuff, which I probably won't use that much, but use the acoustic functions, and it's a really nice, comfortable. It kind of looks like this guitar, except you could tell this is an acoustic because it has a hole in it. It has a body on it, So anyway, that's what's happening there. Let me see if I was gonna say anything else. Anyway, yeah. Had a good time in New Mexico. And I went to see my friend Debbie after the last episode of the podcast last Friday. And it was really good to see her. We had dinner at her place, and we got caught up. We haven't seen each other in a while. And it was so nice. She gave me a really nice cash donation because she said she doesn't like to use Venmo and stuff, but she likes to listen to my podcasts. Even though she doesn't agree with a lot of the politics, she likes to hear them, and I think she said she likes the way I put things. Like, I'm not rude about it, like if people disagree, I try not to be alienating. So that was really a nice experience. Let's see what is going on here. Noah, beautiful story you are, beautiful life, great song, such sick song, brother, lots of feeling and emotion, very good. Thanks, Noah. Fire Sting sounds amazing. Thanks, man. Thanks, Noah. Noah, you have the longest screen name ever. It's Noah Fo 3. It's like, and then finally Baldwin Incorporated or something. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that, Seth. Yeah, Seth Hoffman saying he agrees with Debbie. Like, I have a good way of. Seth was telling me he really appreciates what I've done with the podcast, trying to bridge the gap between people and keep people together. And I really appreciate hearing that. I know other people feel the same way. Like even Debbie was saying, she doesn't really agree with my politics necessarily all the time or ever. I don't know. But the way she likes hearing how I have to say it, and I don't do it in a way where I'm trying to, be offensive or provocative, I guess. And this week, I was meeting up with another friend who is Jewish. I guess I won't say any names because I'm not sure he wants me talking about this and mentioning his name. But I have a lot of Jewish friends. Seth Hoffman, I think, is Jewish. He lived in Israel for a long time, or a couple years anyway. And all this stuff we've been talking about with Israel, in the AIPAC lobby stuff, getting Thomas Massey out last week and stuff. I've tried to make it very clear. It's not anything against Jewish people in general. It's against the government of Israel, the corrupt government of Israel. And I have a friend this week that I was talking to, and he was just saying that it's really been tough lately. All the anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic rhetoric with people, and I just hope people can really differentiate between Israel and Jewish people. It's not the same. Just like saying, like some radical saying they hate Americans, but do they hate all Americans? Not really. They probably just hate the corrupt government that's done terrible things. Um, so it's really hard. It's just really hard. If we look at it, everybody's government over the world has done atrocious things. And I think if it were up to the people, and this is what I believe, but I think most wars are actually bankers' wars. They're fought for bankers. Bankers want people to fight so they can create chaos and make money off the chaos and keep people separated so they're easier to control. And anyway, I just hope people can really differentiate between Jewish people and Israel right now with everything that's going on. Because I have such good Jewish friends. Some of my Jewish friends are the best people I know, and I'm not kidding, really. Very good people, very helpful people. The Jewish friends I have a friend, Michael, and he's even kind of like, at this point, he's been like, hey, he jokingly said, I think I'm anti-Semitic at this point because of everything going on with Israel, but I think, of course it was kidding. But he gets it. He can criticize Israel and still be Jewish, and I guess that's what it's going to take. It's just like we can be, Americans or United States citizens and still criticize our government too and see all the corruption there. I guess everybody, and it seems like maybe all the tribes just have to break down. We have to all just say, hey, we're all one big human tribe, and we have to figure out a way to come together, as human beings. What's the sci-fi saying, man? Jason's here. Mega data is sucking up natural resources. That's right. That's true. They're talking about putting a data center back where my land is, like in that county where my land is. And I hope it's nowhere close to me, but we'll see. Hopefully, by the time they had the center built, if it is close to me, God forbid, I'll have a bunker and I won't have to pay attention to any of it. So I don't know. A lot of chats going on here. So Seth is saying he wished both sides would encourage conversation. I think that's true. We have to conversate. It's a sensitive topic because there is only one tiny Jewish state, and after centuries and centuries of anti-Semitism and so distant Holocaust experience. And what else? Some people are sensitive to eliminating Israel. I lived there for years, and people are out against the government and is doing very similar to America. That's what I've heard. I've heard people in Israel are protesting their own government. Like what happened was that October 7th, 2022. I've heard there's people there, protesting. Like we protested for 9/11, right? We're like, there's something very suspicious here. We're not all down with this. And so I guess that's happening in Israel, which is cool. I think other people communicate. Loving their heart goes a long way. That's why your voice is so meaningful and powerful. Yeah, I hope so, man. I just know people from all walks of life, and as I think I've talked about this a few times on the podcast, I consider myself a Baha'i, which means I believe all the religions come from the same God. They just came at different times throughout history, and the latest manifestation would be Baha'u'llah, who came in the 1800s. I think my phone's ringing for some reason. What the heck? If I look at my phone, it's the camera. It's the main camera today, so it sounds like a timer's going off on my phone. Why would that be? We'll find out. We'll see. Hang on. Oh, I think it's his other phone, actually. Alright, I'm back. I guess I'm back, yeah. It was my old phone, which I was trying to use for my camera today so I could actually look at my phone if somebody sends me a text message, but the old phone must have had a timer or something. Somebody will turn this thing off. Alright, anyway, so there's all that stuff happening. My dad says research, keep an open mind, and be able to change your stance if based on facts. I think that's true. Yes, I definitely think that's true. I mean, this thing with Donald Trump is a big example of that. I think a lot of us were hoping Trump was going to be somebody to help turn this country around, and it's not looking like that's actually happening. So I'd like to think a lot of us are open-minded and disappointed, but open-minded. And anyway. So anyway, yeah. So as a Baha'i, I see all religions as from the same source of God, And I think every religion eventually will get corrupted. That's why another messenger has to come. Like Christianity, for about 1,000 years, it was probably really powerful and on track. But then, people started to corrupt the message of Jesus, and now you have all this division even amongst Christians. Same with Islam, same with Judaism, same with Muslims, Buddha, the Buddhists. All of them, all these messengers start out very pure and on track, and inevitably leave in the hands of human beings. It's like the telephone game, After a while, the message just gets diluted and changed and completely derailed. So that's why the messengers have to keep coming back. And I believe Baha'u'llah came in the 1800s. And I think there's even issues with the Baha'i faith. I have questions about it and all that stuff. So, and that's why when I'm out there and I hear people say something about Jewish people right now, I'm like, look, it's not Judaism. It's not Jewish people. This is like, there's two different things, And just like if somebody says like, if they hate Christians, I'm like, not all Christians are the same. They don't all believe the same stuff, Like it's all, like I've said so many times, some Christians are Catholics. Catholics are Christians. And the Vatican, there's a lot of corruption goes on in the Vatican. I don't think that's what Jesus was talking about, But anyway, I think there's a lot of really good Catholic people out there, that really good Catholic people, and they're, again, some of the best people I've ever met are Catholic. It doesn't mean they're down with all the corruption that happens in Rome and the Vatican and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to try to move on. What is Jason saying? It feels like some things cannot be said because of the offending, and we are all reliant on so much convenience and so many polarized products that one or the other thinks it is a better way to be. Yeah, exactly. I think we just have to be very deliberate in how we see things and talk about things. And, like, it's so easy to just react to new information that we're getting constantly. You have to always, before you react to any new information, you have to say, I'm going to see how this plays out for a few weeks or months and see what happens here, because maybe I don't understand or what's going on. But the people who want to react instantly, it's usually an emotional reaction, and they try to get other people in on it, and before you know it, there's this whole movement of like hysteria, and hysteria, I guess, is a loaded word. It can be a very, it used to mean, hyster is like, of the womb, people, pregnant women would be considered hysterical. So, but that's not the way I mean it. Like hysteria meaning like just people losing their minds for no good reason. Like the Salem witch trials. Like that kind of an example of people just like, they're like freaking out and they just try to attack people, and we got to be careful not to do that as human beings forever and ever. Hopefully once and for all, we never do that. Okay. I guess I'll play one more song for y'all. I appreciate you tuning in. Let me thank some people. Like I said, Debbie Redhouse, thank you so much for your donation last week. She donated for all podcasts that she's listened to for years. My parents, thank you so much for donating today. And should I read my patrons? Shit, sorry guys. I'm trying to speed this up. And yeah, my patrons on Patreon, thanks to everybody on there. Let's see it. I guess I can find their names easily enough here, right? Maybe not. Here it is. Maybe. This is so unprofessional. I can't find it now. Anyway, thanks for everybody on Patreon. It supports me and all that stuff. Thanks to Dennis Driscoll for the donation as well. All right. Moving on. One more song. Hopefully you're still out there. Hopefully it sounded good. I know it got glitchy at one point, but hopefully overall it sounded good. I'm going to end it on a light note. This one's called I Want to Be Sedated by the Ramones. 24 hours ago, I wanna be sedated. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. I wanna be sedated. Put me in a wheelchair, get me to the plane. Hurry, 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 before I go insane. I can't control my fingers, I can't control my brain. Oh no, oh no. Bam, bam, ba bam, ba bam, bam, ba bam. I wanna be sedated. Bam, bam, ba bam, ba bam, bam, ba bam. I wanna be sedated. 24 hours ago, I wanna be sedated. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. I wanna be sedated. Just take me to the airplane, take me to the show. Hurry, 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 before I go loco. I can't control my fingers, I can't control my toes. No, no. Bam, 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 bam. I wanna be sedated. Bam, bam, ba bam, ba bam, bam, ba bam. I wanna be sedated. Sing along, everybody. Bam, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, bam, ba, bam. I wanna be sedated. Bam, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, bam, ba, bam. I wanna be sedated. 2 more times. Bam, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, bam, ba, bam. I wanna be sedated. Bam, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, bam, ba, bam. I wanna be sedated. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. My sister said, look at she sent me a text message with that. I guess she said it's an alien throne. I can't look at the phone right now, Michelle, because it's being used as my camera, but maybe next time I'll be able to look at my phone because I can use my old phone. Anyway, but my sister said you played some good songs tonight. Thanks, Michelle. I appreciate that. And my dad says, yes, good show. And my sister says, bam, 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 bam. Ba-bam, bam, ba-bam. Yeah, I turned that song into a folk song. I made it into a folk song, sing-along song. So anyway, well, I'm going to get out of here. Seth and I are going to go out for a little partying tonight. And see you next week. I'll be on, I think, on Wednesday because I got gigs on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. So I'll be on Wednesday. I think I'm going to have a special remembrance of Shadowlight. The anniversary of her passing is coming up on June 8th. So I'm going to have a special episode for her next week, I think. I've been thinking a lot about her lately. So, all right. Thanks, y'all. See you next time. How do I stop this thing? Hey, Damien, you're out there. Damien says later, Gator. See you, Damien. Nice to hear from you, bud. Stop.